There is nowhere so back or return to form. There is no Marvel, there is no Star Wars, there is no creativity. There is only the will of Disney.
This world going up in flames, and nobody wanna take the blame.
Hi, I'm Terminally Online, and I'm about to make it everybody else's problem. Happy New Year, you crazy SOBs. Sorry I'm late. Wanted to enjoy my break and take some time to not get burnt out. And then I got painfully sick at the last minute, and my voice started sounding like the girl from The Grudge. And then I started coughing like a seasoned smoker chasing his pension.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
And my head and left ear started feeling like Superman after he got the treatment and crashed into the snow and doing his best Yamcha impression. So yeah, 2026 is off to a great start. But you don't care about that. You came here to watch the ape make you laugh.
Dance for us, monkey.
So as you know, we got bombarded with leaked clips and trailers about the upcoming Doomsday movie. All of this just before the Intergalactic Invasion movie, which was basically an excuse for James Cameron to try and wow us with his expensive video game cutscene technology that was revolutionary back in 2009. Fuck me, I feel old. The first movie in this BS franchise was in 2009. The people born back then are about to go to college and, well, become legal enough to drink. Speaking of which, my Glenfiddich right now is looking better than Sydney Sweeney and Alison Brie during the community days, and is just as likely to ruin my life. Kinda how Disney's planning to ruin the X-Men after the shit show in Secret Wars. What a time to be a comic book fan, am I right? Well, Spider-Man fans must know what I'm talking about. Can't wait to see how MJ or the writers ruin Peter Parker's life, even more than they already have. Paul was one hell of a tough act to follow. Anyway, after the new screensaver movie got released, in the space for the previews, Disney decided to try to get us to, care about Doomsday by showing us the same trailers that were leaked almost a week to a month prior.
Good luck with that.
I never said they were smart. And the results have been mostly mixed online.
You sure about that?
For the people I've asked in real life, they forgot this shit show was even happening. Tell me again how people who are still willing to even talk about this bullshit are grifters. You greedy war crime supporting rat.
You lying ass bitch.
Anyway, the movie, as I remember hearing from sites and comment sections, is possibly going to be about Iron Man having an identity and midlife crisis, prompting him to start acting like a trans daycare worker and abduct everybody's kids because something involving Captain America choosing to not return through the time travel shenanigans and instead stay and boo up Peggy Carter and creating, plot holes. Fair enough if I'm honest. I mean, if I have to pick between fighting and being what counts as a hero these days in a universe under Kevin Feige and the MCU bad writing, or Haley Atwell, yeah, I understand his choice. Hashtag Cap did nothing wrong. Normally I would go through each leak individually, but YouTube and its copyright striking is kind of going insane, and I don't need any more problems trying to enter the algorithm than I already have. But, back to it. So now everybody's children are in danger for some reason, and whoever is left in this sinking ship of a franchise is stuck dealing with Iron Doom. You know what, man? I would just buy an expensive gaming PC and sports car and date some vapid 20 or 30-year-old who was willing to touch me only for my money if I was hitting a midlife or identity crisis, but hey, that's just me. When you can build a super suit from...
To build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Then I guess your reasoning is just beyond my basic bitch understanding. Maybe in the end, all I need is a young black woman wonderkind who worked with a racist ethno-state that broke US borders and allied with Atlantis due to terrorism, unnecessarily stole, cheated, allied themselves with a dangerous crime syndicate that was linked to the occult, and I can't stress this part enough, also make a deal with the devil to probably set me straight. Oh, Riri, you scamp. Anyway, let's be real for I don't know, however long this video is, and just sit with the fact that we're in the superhero fatigue phase of entertainment, and now Marvel has decided to shut out key jangling the superhero motion picture that requires a lot of homework. Oh, this movie is so screwed. But Broje, you grifter, The Boys, Invincible, My Hero Academia, and To Be Hero X are superhero content and were financially successful. Well, Copium and Coperson, some of those shows are not really superhero shows in and of themselves, and others are just riding the anime wave or are leftovers for when they were actually a lot more profitable. Let's run them down real quick and get back to the video's point. The Boys is not a superhero show, and neither is Invincible for primary reasons. The shows do not prioritize superheroes nor their values and actions. Both shows parody the concept of superheroes and prioritize dismantling the concept of heroism for the sake of relatability instead of inspiration, aspiration, and rising to the occasion. They're not gods, they're just very messed up humans, removing them from the concept of being a superhero. In the case of The Boys specifically, it's mocking the concept of superheroes by putting them in the guise of celebrities and under corporatization and political coding, despite the comic being more scathing critique of celebrity culture, corruption and corporatization, with here and there politics. Think how Cyberpunk uses sci-fi to point out corpos being hectically corrupt, and how supers are just stand-ins for celebrities in this case. Even that's the scandals. No matter how much you like Starlight and Huey or Mark and Adam Eve, they're not, and as much as they're protagonists, they're not heroes. They're far from the concept or idea of heroes. They're too selfish and self-absorbed and woefully unprepared, despite having ample time and resources to ever be able to save anybody or rise to the occasion. It's more like a CW drama teen show with good action sequences than a superhero show. The characters of Sky High were more true to the concept of heroes. Hell, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob were more faithful to the idea of a superhero than whatever the hell these hot messes are. I could do a deeper video if anybody wants me to. You know, if you guys want me to basically point out how Invincible and the rest of the characters in Invincible are horrible heroes. You know, if I get like 100 likes on this video. But back to it. Oh right, the anime ones. My Hero Academia and To Be Hero X and One Punch Man are more exceptions to the rule of superhero fatigue than, well, real challenges to the rule. Think about it like this. Yes, they're good shows and do highlight superheroism, but one, they're better written animes before they're superhero shows. And most people watch them because they were good animes before they wanted to watch superhero stuff. They think of them more as animes than superhero content. Let's not forget that they also all rode the anime wave, and in the case of My Hero Academia and One Punch, they're leftovers for when superhero content was basically a license to print money, and at the same time they were battle tested and good to the audience. Well, at least My Hero Academia. One Punch Man Season 3 pretty much shat the bed harder than Amber Heard and had a fall from grace that was mirroring the Hawk Tuah girls. That being said, they are way more faithful to the concept of a hero than whatever the West has done lately. At the end of the day, they're just well-written animes first, and superhero shows second. If I was to give them a proper critique, it'd be here like for a whole year. Anyway, back to the overall point of this video. You on the same page? Alright. In layman's terms, it's a shit time in the industry, and it's a shit time to be releasing a colossal cameo orgy, and a very bad time to be filling a movie with characters that require homework. Remember, very few of the younger demographic right now who Disney is desperate for has actually watched the Fox era X-Men, or the prior Hulk movies, the prior Fantastic Four movies, or the Blade movies. Good luck getting an entire generation that was raised on TikTok and YouTube and need Mr. Beast, Skibbity Toilet, Actual Speed, and whatever the hell 6'7" was type of entertainment to sit down and watch more than 10 movies just so they can understand why a group of former 10s, who are now grandparents, are stretching into spandex and leather outfits that they last wore more than 20 years ago. Fuck me. For, let's be honest, 10 minutes of screen time each. I mean, you're asking a lot from a group that is notoriously known for having a lack of an attention span. I mean, madam, can you imagine trying to get a kid excited about Eric Bana, pretending he's going to turn into a bigger, stronger, and angrier, arguably better version of the same character Mark Shut the Fuck Up Ruffalo is playing? Never understood how that dude became a critically acclaimed actor, but I'm digressing. Just imagine, hey Timmy, you excited to see a 61-year-old Famke Jensen pretend she can move shit with her mind? And pretend that she is in a love triangle with Hugh Jackman and that white dude from the Sonic movies? Ooh, how about getting excited over Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart phoning in a performance for characters they last played over a decade ago?
No thanks, mister. Wait a minute! Who are you?
Oh, don't worry, kid. I'm just a YouTuber, and...
Get out there!
So where were we? Alright. Can you imagine just how little people today even know who are coming back for Doomsday pre-MCU? Fuck me, most people aren't even aware of who came in post-Endgame. But, you know what? The shills probably know and care. Just ignore their lifeless eyes and absence of a sense of taste, justifiable opinion, and a soul. Oh, and speaking of cameos, this movie is so full of actors, main and cameos, that this movie is going to be a freaking mess, especially with the CGI. Remember, we got old X-Men, possibly the second group of X-Men, my favorite Fantastic Four, the possibly shitty version of the Fantastic Four, the currently mid-Fantastic Four, 3 Hulks, who I can't wait to see how they're gonna bitch them out, the Defenders, the Avengers old and new coming in, and good heavens, man, the effects crew must be looking at the noose. That or reaching for energy drinks. Just think about it. Usually marketing and VFX are like the biggest costs for these high CGI and visual-based movies, but they have never had to deal with this many CGI-needing characters in the past. Either they're going to make these things look batshit horrible like She-Hulk, or they're gonna have a budget that looks like Elon Musk's bank account, and they still expect to make a profit. Seriously, what kind of drugs are they high on right now? It cannot be cocaine, since they dropped that after the 80s and it shows. And Lord knows it's not weed. Or America wouldn't look like this. So they must be on some wild shit that's got them buck wild yet still feel like they have the moral high ground. So yeah, the movie is utterly screwed. And I can't wait to watch that turd fall out and watch the same Defenders pop out of the woodwork and pretend it's steak tartare or, I don't know, McDonald's chicken nuggets. I'm uncultured and an ape. What do you want from me? Anyway, I've wasted enough of your time. Please like and subscribe and share around, and I just might post bail. Come on, letting out possible repeat offenders is just so hot right now. Just ask America. Check you later. Later, taters.